All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and man, oh man, once again, shout out to ALINA HABBA. She always on top of everything. Y'all know how much I respect ALINA HABBA. She doesn't hold back. When she get pissed off, she gets pissed off, and she don't hold back at all. She will spill everything. Shout out to ALINA. Now, she just went on Fox Business, and this one here said that Trump's attorney ALINA HABBA reacts to the Supreme Court rejecting Special Counsel Jack Smith's attempt to expedite Trump's immunity. Like, it is just so crazy that this man is trying to stop Trump from having immunity. This is ridiculous. I've just said this in my last video. All the things that Jack Smith, Fani Willis, all these people are trying to do to Donald Trump is just uncalled for. Just wasting taxpayers' dollars is all they doing. These folks need to be fired. They need to be locked up. And we already been realizing that all they doing is just using Donald Trump to try to big theyself up. Like the crap that Letitia James did. She used her, like if you go on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, her whole page is about slandering Trump. It's just anti-Trump. Her whole page. This woman cannot stop talking about Donald Trump at all. Just like Fani Willis, just like Jack Smith, and that's why he just got rejected. And I'm happy that he got rejected. So like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody that clicked on this video for the very first time. And shout out to the one that always watches the entire video, because YouTube will share the video so more people can see my reaction. And that right there is what helped the channel grow. And on top of that, make sure y'all hit that like button. That's very, very important as well. All right. So without further ado, let's listen to ALINA HABBA, because she said the Supreme Court saw through all of Jack Smith's BS. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it. And let's see what ALINA had to say about this, y'all. Let's go.
Switching gears now, clearly the elections will be the biggest story of 2024, as Steve and I were just talking about. But the biggest question about the elections is whether voters will decide the outcome, or whether it's going to be a politically motivated group of judges and prosecutors, et cetera. Joining us now is Trump attorney ALINA HABBA. ALINA, great to see you. Let's talk about that in a second. But first, I got to mention Jack Smith's loss today in his rush to get to trial before the election. What do you make of that? And is it going to become obvious, because he may come out and actually say what we all know he's thinking, which is he wants the election, he wants the decision in the Supreme Court to be before the election. He wanted the trial to be before the election, and now it looks like he's further away from that goal.
Yeah, it's called election interference. That is 100% what this was, and I'm really pleased with the Supreme Court. It really restored my faith in my profession, frankly. The Supreme Court saw through this. There was no urgent application necessary by Jack Smith. He was trying to usurp the appellate division and go right up to the Supreme Court to have them hear issues of presidential immunity, which is an absolute immunity that presidents have for a very good reason. And frankly, so that they don't have to have DAs and AGs come after them after their presidency in this political witch hunt. And the Supreme Court ruled today that Jack Smith did not have reason to do so. He needed to stay the course, go through the normal procedures as everybody else. He had no urgency, and there was no dissent in the Supreme Court's decision. So it was a very great day for Team Trump, and we'll keep pushing. You know,
of course, the irony, I don't have to tell you, ALINA, but just to remind everybody, that would be election interference, as I think you rightly said. He wants to interfere with the election by getting a conviction of Donald Trump before the election from a very favorable court, if he can find one. And ironically, this is a case he's charging Donald Trump with election interference, when that's exactly what he's trying to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. For saying to peacefully and patriotically march, and to say that he wants to look at the election because he believes that the election was stolen. We've seen since January 6th, since this case that is completely politically motivated, we've seen the same judge have to stay her trial pending decisions on immunity, number one. Number two, we've seen that she's treated unfairly these January 6th people that were arrested. Some of them have not been heard in courts yet. So due process is really not about what people have done. That's for the courts to decide on a case-by-case basis. But normal due process in America has its place, and we can't try and rush due process when it suits them. They have year-long investigations, and then they brought all these cases, David, right before the election so that he's not on the campaign trail, so that he's out there doing nothing to help his campaign. Instead, what they don't realize, which I think the polls show, is that the more you try and attack Trump, the more you try and tie him up in these witch hunts and court cases, they're going to get stopped, and they're going to be seen by the Americans as an attempt to usurp the GOP and the Republican Party. Even, it's so desperate.
Even Democrats see that. I mean, we should remember that horrible Colorado decision where they take him off the ballot because of he's an insurrectionist when nobody has convicted him. Right. Nobody has even charged him. I mean, why do you think Jack Smith didn't charge Donald Trump with insurrection? Because he knew he wouldn't get the conviction, right?
100%. And where's due process? That Colorado court, they're going to have it handed to them, I got to tell you. And it's going to be an embarrassing day. I believe, like many other legal scholars have said, this is going to be a 9-0 decision. There is just no justification. We have not even gone through the proceedings. And frankly, when we do, it will show that there was absolutely nothing done wrong. There are issues with our election integrity, and the president had reason to ask for them to look into it. It would be the first insurrection without weapons and without war. It's crazy. But what we're seeing is across the board DAs and AGs that are politically motivated. And I'm really grateful for the Supreme Court to step in and see through that.
Well, actually, you know who else I'm grateful for are 3 of those Colorado justices who were appointed by Democrats, said very clearly that there was no case here, that this was an outrageous decision. Right. I think more Democrats are also realizing how this lawfare is so unconstitutional and so against the American way. In fact, I just have to read to you, Kim Strassel wrote a great piece in the Wall Street Journal today about the way in which the Supreme Court gets sandbagged by all this. She says, if the justices rule against Mr. Trump in these suits, the left accomplishes an immediate political goal. If they rule in Mr. Trump's favor, the left smears the justices and ramps up its campaign to pack the court. The only difference I have with Kim in that logic, and I see the logic, is that I think the American people have caught on to it. If 3 Democrat justices in Colorado have caught on to it, I think a lot more Democrats out there and certainly independents have caught on to it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, all they doing is just attacking Trump. And Alina, you heard what Alina said. Every time they try to attack Donald Trump, all they doing is helping him in the polls. Every single time. Every time you attack him. Look what Fannie Willis tried to do to him in Georgia with the mugshot. It backfired on him. Everything that they try to do, it backfires on them badly every single time. Every single time. So it's getting to the point now, y'all just need to leave Donald Trump alone. So, like I said, shout out to this court for doing this, for rejecting Jack Smith, because all it is an election interference. And that Colorado crap, that stuff that right there is going to get overruled. It has to get overruled. That right there is not going to stand. You got, I think it was like 3 or 4, maybe I think it was 4 Democratic people judging against Donald Trump. Like I said, he already ain't really just had a fair trial. So I'm happy about this one right here, that the Supreme Court rejecting Jack Smith to try to, expedite Trump. It is just crazy out here. So once again, Alina does a great job at what she does, and I love the way she breaks down the news. And like she said before, shout out to the Supreme Court for seeing through this crap that Jack Smith is trying to do. All of this going on, whether it's Jack Smith, Letitia James, all of them are in on this crap. It's all an election interference to get Trump off the ballot. And that's what that Colorado Supreme Court trying to do. They trying to throw Trump off the ballot to try to rally up the troops and get everybody else to do it, to try to help Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the one need to be in the courtroom. That's who need to be in the courtroom. but they trying to take all the attention off him because he the one destroying the country, but yet they trying to put everything on Trump because he's the one winning. He's winning in all the polls, so they want to go after the big fish. They're trying to get him out the way to think that's going to help Joe Biden get reelected. So we can get 4 more years of BS. But that's not going to happen. So keep on attacking Trump. All you're going to do is just keep helping him out every single time. You're just going to keep helping him out. Dems unprecedented attacks on Donald Trump. Man. And then if y'all seen my video from yesterday, you will see a video where Letitia James admitted that her and the judge had already ruled what they was going to do to Donald Trump before the trial even started. That ain't a fair trial. How is that a fair trial? How can Trump fight that? If they already been talking behind the scenes on what they was going to do to Donald Trump, and that's the reason why you heard that judge tell Donald Trump, I'm not here to hear what you got to say. Because they already had everything did in the back. They already talked about it, what they was going to do to Trump, and that's why you seen the judge smirking, and that's why you seen Letitia James sitting behind Trump, looking over there where he was, smirking, because they had already been in on the deal of what they was going to do. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go check that video out that I did yesterday. But let's get back to it, though, and see what else been said.
Have caught on to it. If 3 Democrat justices in Colorado have caught on to it, I think a lot more Democrats out there and certainly independents have caught on to it as well. I don't think they're going to allow a packing in the Supreme Court. Do you?
No, I don't. Look, at the end of the day, it's a shame that it has to go as far as the Supreme Court. That is reserved for the utmost difficult decisions that really affect this country. And the fact that we've gotten there so fast is very telling. These cases are so political, and to put that burden on them is not fair. But I will say today, there was no dissent. There was dissenting opinions in the Colorado case, as you mentioned, but today there was none. It was one sentence. No, this doesn't qualify. We're not hearing this right now, and moving on. So it's restoring my faith, honestly, in our judicial system. And I'm a big critic of it when I see it going wrong, but today restored my faith.
I love that. It was one sentence, no, Jack Smith, you don't got it. Yeah. I mean, it was that simple. Bye-bye. Try again. ALINA HABBA, thank you so much for being.
Yeah, shout out to ALINA, man, because she ain't finna sit here and let Jack Smith do that. That's why she just blasted Jack Smith on what he was trying to do. Because like I said, they all trying to push for these judges to hurry up and get this election interference crap going on Donald Trump to try to stop this man from what he really want to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trump is trying to be on campaigns. He's trying to talk to the people that support him, but yet you keep getting people like Jack Smith and Letitia James. You're getting all these people that constantly dragging him in courtrooms to try to stop this man from going out campaigning like what he really wants to do. But like I said before, all they doing is helping him out in the polls that much more because Trump is taking all of these attacks and he's not backing down from anybody. He's not backing down from anybody. He's standing up, he's talking his talk, and he ain't gonna let these people bag him in a corner. That right there is just what it is. He ain't gonna let these people just bag him in the corner. So once again, shout out to ALINA HABBA. And like I said, this right here was another good one. So like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Great news for Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? We need even more great news. So hopefully we get even more great news. Hopefully the next 7 videos is great news for Donald Trump. Hopefully. But like I said, thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.